Right.
You were good until you went.
Buonasera, buonasera. This must be.
Stop, you're laughing. You can't start.
It's okay. I can start whatever I like. I don't know.
Have a cough.
Buonasera, buonasera. This must be the 5th take we're making for this beginning. I'm making some caponata. This is the final outcome. It looks really nice. Just please stay tuned in. I'm going to show you the recipe and something that for you to try, something new if you haven't cooked it before. But I call this dish the Queen of Sicily. It's typical Sicilian, introduced by the Arabs in the 9th century, and you will be amazed how delicious it is if you haven't tried it before. We start by cutting an aubergine and making it into little cubes. We'll add it together with another aubergine I chopped earlier. Make sure they don't run away. We pour a little olive oil on a saucepan. We add the aubergines. I use the lid as a way to mix them so they do not go everywhere. And you put them on the hob for approximately 15 minutes, and I'm gonna let them cook in their own steam. This is a healthier way of cooking the aubergines. I don't like deep frying them like a lot of other recipes, and they taste just as nice. Place them on the hob on a moderate heat until they start sizzling. Then we will turn it down on a medium heat. Place the lid on and let them steam in their own water for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. We will check them in a little while. While the aubergines are cooking, we're gonna be chopping the celery. I've got 2 aubergines, and now I'm using 2 sticks of celery, and I tend to have 1 stick of celery per aubergine. What we're going to be doing next, we're going to be boiling the celery in some water for approximately 5 minutes. What that will do, it will make them tender, just 5 minutes really, otherwise they'll be a little bit tough. While the aubergines are cooking, I'm now going to chop some onions. The traditional recipe asks for white onions. I prefer to use red, but today I'm going to use a white one and a red one. So we will just chop them up. I will be adding a green pepper and a red pepper. This is again an optional part of the recipe. In Sicily you will find that lots of families do not use peppers, but I've always used peppers, and they do taste considerably better in my view. Gently chop the pepper. Again, I like to leave them in long strips so that you can see what you're eating when it's cooked. And the green and the red color of the pepper give a masterful color to the recipe once it's finished. Funny enough, again, the Italian flag colors. We add them to the chopped onions. I'll pour some extra virgin olive oil in a separate saucepan, and I will be adding my chopped onions and peppers, and I'm going to slightly fry them alongside my aubergines. The onions and the peppers are sizzling nicely. I have drained the celery. As you can see, they're steaming hot. I will be adding them to this mix now, and I'll let them sizzle for a couple of minutes. We will add 50 grams of capers. They have been rinsed, and so they are now unsalted. Next is 40 grams of pine nuts. These are quite expensive. You do not have to use pine nuts. You can also use sunflower seeds, but as I'm trying to stick to the Sicilian original recipe, I will be using pine nuts for today. Another ingredient which I really like in this recipe is dry sultana. Again, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but trust me, it will give it a distinctive flavor. Another key ingredient, supermarket on brand green olives, pitted, and a couple of 100 grams. The smaller the better, but by all means you can use big olives. If you buy them with the pit inside, make sure that you remove the pit before you put them in the mix. And we add them in. Lower the heat to a medium position, put the lid on and let them cook for 20 minutes. And don't forget to keep an eye on your aubergines. The key ingredient for the caponata is the agrodolce. Agrodolce is effectively a vinaigrette which we make with some vinegar. Here I've got 50 grams or milliliters of vinegar. White wine vinegar is what tend to be used in the recipe, but I like also apple vinegar, so I've done half and half. So we pour that in. Then we also add 60 grams of sugar. We add a tablespoon of tomato puree. And we mix it together. You mix it until you get this very thick and browny ready color sauce, and you will know that it's ready once the sugar has all been dissolved. Quite simply, we add the vinaigrette agrodolce to the mix here. And we give it a little stir, and you can smell already the vinegar is beginning to release some very powerful odor. The aubergines are done. I'll turn them on a very low heat for now. This mix is also pretty much done, so I will be pouring it and adding it to the aubergines like so. I've chopped some tomatoes, 300 grams in here. I will be adding them next. We turn the heat on a fairly high temperature to start with. We place the lid on and we let it simmer for 20 minutes, again on a medium heat. It's ready. I'm going to add some salt now. I put salt to taste. Some people put salt while it's cooking. I prefer to put it at the end. I think it retains more of the flavor. And also what we're going to be adding is some basil. I'm going to be chopping this by hand rather than cutting it with a knife. I'm not very elegant with my basil tonight, but make sure that you add the basil at the end. Don't cook the basil because it will release the flavors. We will mix it, and as you can see, it's still steaming hot. We'll be placing the lid on and let it cool down for maybe half an hour, and then we will test it to see what it's like. It's cooled down a bit. Really, the best time to eat it is after 24 hours. The idea is that it stays in the fridge overnight, and if you eat it cold, it will taste even nicer. It will stay in the fridge between 3 to 5 days max, and the longer you leave it, the better it tastes, because clearly the vinaigrette will release more of its flavors. I'm going to taste it now, and I'm going to let you know what it's like. So I'm going to pick some of this lovely, caponata. I put a little tomato in there as well, and let's Let's give it a shot. It's really good. Still be hot. It's not as powerful as it would be if it was cold, but I think it's going to be a good one. You will excuse me if I carry on. Tends to be a side dish. In Sicily we eat it with salad, or as a salad actually, salad replacement, or it can be a main meal for lunch. Tonight we're going to be eating it with our salmon. We're going to be cooking some salmon and we will have some caponata as a side and some bread. Also, my wife bought some lovely bread today. So here it is. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe if you wish, and until next time, ciao ciao, bye.